Go. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Just Another Nerdy Podcast. Diehm guy, how's it going? I'm Jay, for those of you who don't know, and today we're going to be interviewing the awesome Ailura. So Ailura was brought to us, actually nominated to us from the excellent Smoke and Dank 5280. I asked him for advice on streamers, and he first name he came up with. So one thing, so guys, just so you know, if you haven't checked us out already, you can watch us live every Wednesday on twitch.tv/justanothernerdypodcast. You can watch us Wednesday at noon, and then you can also, on Mondays, we do a Twitch streamer live interview with different Twitch streamers, as we are doing today. So you can kind of keep an eye out on that. You can find us on our social media at twitter.com/justanothernerdypodcast. JA Nerdy Podcast. Sorry, we also have a Discord. And then we have a whole bunch of other stuff. You can check us out on facebook.com. And then if you guys want, you can actually find me on instagram.com/jdiehm. All of those social media platforms, I'm going to be putting up clips, not just from Ailura, but we are Ailura. We're going to have Ailura on clips all this week. But also from any other person that we do as well, clips from the podcast, clips from my streams. Tons of clips on all of my social media, so you can find me on facebook.com, Instagram, and on Twitter at JDiehm. Same thing at JA Nerdy Podcast, Just Another Nerdy Podcast. You can search that. You're going to find this mug right here, this guy. So that's our social media speech, I guess, is the word. Hey, guys. Hey, what is this? Robert Lee 21. How's it going? Robert? So guys, welcome. We are joined here today by the amazing Ailura. How's it going?
Hey, I'm good. How are you? It's awesome to be here.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm awake, so I'm good. I got out of bed today.
I have had my coffee, so I'm ready.
I've had my Red Dead, so I'm not distracted right now. So
Good.
So we're good there. So Ailura, let's see here. I've got a notebook full of questions here. But first, welcome, guys. Oh, also, one other thing, guys, if you do me a favor, if you see something that Ailura says that you really like, do me a favor and clip it. All clips will have not just a shout out to Ailura, but it'll have a shout out to you as well. I'll put it on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. So do me a favor. If you just see something you like, clip it, guys. It's gonna help us out a lot, but it's also gonna help out Ailura a lot. So much as you can.
Definitely. Clips are awesome.
Yeah.
I couldn't actually find like my favorite clip to send you because there's so many like good ones, and I'm not like skilled with making some kind of compilation or something to send you. So I was like, I just couldn't decide on which one. But I have a few.
I've had maybe one streamer I ask every streamer, can you please send me a clip? And I think one has sent me a clip. So
oh, really?
I think Dank, like, I just started looking through his clips and I found one. I don't think Dank even sent me one ever, but that's all right. That's all right. I don't sweat it too much. Like, what was it? Right. Ashgard was like, oh, didn't you, like, in the interview, he's like, didn't you need a clip? And I'm like, not now.
All right.
So that's all right. Nobody sends clips, but clips are super helpful to get. Like, I love when people clip things because I'm like, oh, I can share this out. Someone else found it funny. I like that validation a little more than I found it funny. So
yeah, no,
or
like
interesting.
If I have to go back and make a clip of something, I feel kind of guilty. Like,
yeah,
it
feels a little
someone
weird.
Else should have to make the clip. Yeah, like they should know the moment or pick the moment that they like.
Oh yeah. Okay, so Ailura, why don't we have the people why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself here today? Sure. I know. So I told you I hadn't seen any streams, but I did actually pop in and watch a little bit of some of your backlog videos, and then I watched and then I was reading your channel just like a little bit ago. So okay. In your bio, right off the bat, and it's right in the picture, you got cats. You're a cat streamer.
I'm a cat lover. I mean, my name means cat in Greek, actually. Ailuros as in like Ailurophile is it means cat lover. So Ailura,
Oh,
yeah, and I just sort
that's
of
awesome.
yeah, and I just have always loved cats, and it's also it was my first World of Warcraft night elf druid character that I made was Ailura because I liked the idea of being able to turn into a cat or a panther. So that's kind of how I got this name, and I've used it everywhere since.
I dig it. I dig it. So you got cat. Was it? I wrote it down. Shayna and Mimi. Are those your cat
Shauna,
names?
Mimi, yep,
Shauna.
yeah,
Tell Shauna I'm
yeah.
sorry. I got her name wrong.
That's okay. No, yeah, but they're my babies. They make an appearance pretty much nightly. Every time the stream boss is defeated, like when anyone tips or cheers or subs, it does damage to the boss, as I'm sure you're probably familiar with. And it once the boss is defeated, I bring my cats out. I have this overlay for kitty time. Like it's nice, got big paws flashing all over. And I get my cats and I feed them treats on stream. And so a lot of people love that. That especially my mom because she's a regular watcher. She's
Oh, no
actually a
way.
mod as well. Yes, yes. She's a mod as well, and she's there pretty much every night. And she's a big supporter of the stream, and so she likes to make sure that my cats are well fed, I guess.
That's so awesome. That's magical to have like because I know a lot of people have trouble with their families
Hmm.
not being supportive. That sounds awesome that your mom is like incredibly supportive.
Yeah, and I mean, everyone on stream loves her, I think, because she interacts and she says hi to everyone, and she's really the nicest person ever. And so everyone just loves to see her there every night. It's like the Ilura and Mom show kind of because she's always there and she's awesome. I love her.
Have you ever had your mom like on stream?
No, because I live in Eastern Canada. I'm from California, however, and so she
Okay.
still lives in California. But I moved up to Canada when I met a guy online uh, that I actually played like some World of Warcraft with, and we like got to know each other, and then we met originally in Toronto, and then we moved here to Quebec, and we've been living here and married for let's see, 4 years we've been married, but we've been together for 11.
Oh
So
wow.
online relationships can work.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so I'm in Canada. My mom's in California, but I mean, she watches my stream every night. I talk to her on Skype every week. We try and visit like once or twice a year if we can. And no, but I've never had her on stream.
Okay. Well, you gotta tell her for the holidays, like, Mom, come to Canada. Yeah, you're gonna get on the stream. We're gonna do a Christmas mom stream.
I think she'd be a little shy. I don't know.
That's true. That's true. Like. I've always wanted my dad to stream, and he's like, no, 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 no. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
He's like, the public eye's your bag, not mine. I'm like, okay, I get
Yeah,
it.
she's camera shy,
That's
but
cool.
she's always there and supportive and chats with my viewers, so
That's so
I love
cool.
having her there. Yeah.
Okay, so well, let's talk about. So you've been with your husband for like 11 years. You guys have been married. You said about 4.
Hmm.
How long have you been streaming for?
Well, I started in September 2017, so it's been over a year. Let's see, in September, so a year and a few months. And like I originally started, let's see, I went to this is kind of a long story how I got into streaming.
Hey, that's all
Uh,
right. We got
yeah,
plenty of time.
I went to PAX East because I have a developer friend who created a game and he wanted to promote it at PAX East and he got a booth. So I was able to go to Boston and do that. And on the plane to Boston, I sat next to a relatively popular Twitch streamer that I had not heard about, but I got to talk to her on the plane the entire ride. And she gave me like her card, and I was like, wow, she even has a card. And and then I started after the PAX East. I started watching Twitch more as a result of that, and especially my experience at PAX East was like my first time kind of interacting with a big group of other gamers and nerds, like in a huge place like that. Like I met so many cool people, and I was like, this is kind of something I could do more often, and streaming kind of fits into that. Like, especially with my anxiety, it kind of makes it easier to interact with people through streaming. And it's actually helped me a lot with anxiety and depression, because I have this like social community that's always there for me, and I'm there for them. And but yeah, I kind of wandered a bit there, but yeah, I got into streaming in 2017, and it's just been like I can't even believe that I've continued streaming for this long. Like it's been amazing.
So, is your husband a streamer, or does he just kind of game on his own time?
No, he's a big gamer. He's actually he's been playing Space Engineers lately, and he's creating this huge ship that's like really cool. But no, he's just like super supportive of me streaming. He supports us financially, so like streaming is kind of like my hobby. I don't have to worry about providing for the household as much. Like I'm able to just kind of enjoy it without too much pressure, which it helps a lot.
That's super awesome. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot of people out there with as much support. And it's always great to have that support system, because from what I've read, like one of the best things you can have is like your family, your husband, your wife, your mother, your
Hmm.
father, like having them have your back and stuff. So you've got double support. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, my husband is great. My mom is great. I'm really lucky.
That's good. So let's talk about. So you've been streaming for a year. I like to talk about the tech side a little bit. I'm a big fan of. One of my favorite things about Twitch is all of the obstacles that I've had to overcome. Um,
Hmm.
what kind of obstacles? Like, what did you start with? Like webcam wise, like microphone wise. What kind of obstacles have you run into tech wise? Learning Twitch,
Oh my
learning like
God.
broadcasting and stuff. What are some, like, do you have like highlights or specific memories or something, in
Well,
the
I've
past year?
definitely run into lots of issues, although I'm basically using the same webcam that I started with, which it's a great webcam. I think it's the Logitech C920. And I got this microphone when I got Assassin's Creed Origins, which was a big
Ooh.
game that I streamed that first year. And as far as like technical issues, like sometimes games won't work, like they'll just crash for no reason at all, and then I have to find something else to stream that night, or having to like deal with Streamlabs not syncing up, or like I've had to learn so many things. It's hard to like narrow it down, but I've definitely learned a lot since I started streaming. Like, just I had no idea before streaming how to do anything in OBS. Like, that's completely new. I started with XSplit actually,
Oh.
and then I was like, no, I need to learn OBS because that's what most people use, and it has more options and stuff like overlays and things. So when I first started out, I just had my webcam and that was it in the corner. And then as I got into OBS, I would add more like the jar and like the latest tips or latest follow or whatever like that. And also the Stream Boss, which um, that's what started Kitty Time, was having the Stream Boss up there. It's like the Kitty Time goal for the night.
That's
Um, yeah.
that is such a creative, like, I love the fact that you tied the stream boss into something real and tangible.
Hmm.
Because it's like if you're just doing this, I mean, it's just kind of like, you can create hype and stuff around something like that, but you're able to tie something real into it, which is awesome.
Yeah, and because I'm such a big fan of Dank and supporter of Dank, and he has helped me a lot too. Smoke and Dank 5280 that you've interviewed. He has also adopted the kitty time to his stream for his dog Roxy.
Oh yeah, I've seen Roxy a few times.
Yeah, so it's like it's cool that I've sort of influenced him in that way, and he's been a huge help to me. He's helped with graphics and overlays and all that stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I just wanted to give him a shout out because he's a great streamer. He's probably my favorite person to watch on Twitch.
He's got a very welcoming voice. I love
Yeah,
that about him.
yeah,
He
he
actually
does.
So I did the interview with him, and like the next week, he sent me the overlay that is this whole thing. He was just like, just thought I'd do that for you, and I was like, thank you. Like he didn't ask for money or anything. He's just super nice and made this, and I was like, wow, and it looks nice. And every now and then I get a thought maybe, and then I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep it. I'm just gonna keep it.
Yeah, he's like he's very professional. He has a good talent for like making things look nice. I think he's had experience with that maybe as like in web design and stuff like that. So I don't know. He has more experience than me, so he's been a great help.
Yeah, he's really cool. Okay, so let's kind of stroll back your
Sure.
we gotta we gotta follow here. Thank you for the follow person that I'm going to name here in a minute. Sorry, I don't have my live screen popped up yet. Oh, Robert Lee! Thank you so
There
much
he
for the
is.
follow.
Hey,
Thank you.
Robert.
So okay, so let's see. I've asked you. So we've kind of covered like some of the like where your name came from. Talked about how you
Hmm.
got into streaming, which you have an awesome story, by the way. That's really cool. Like just the
Yeah.
idea that you've traveled from like California to Canada. You found your husband. You've also you've like you went to PAX East. You met some people. You got into streaming. Yeah, that is a good. So you talked a little bit about like anxiety and whatnot. You said you like mental health is a big focus on your stream, which we actually last week we had Ashgard we talked to. If you
Hmm.
guys ever want to check out that interview, we've got that up. We got clips of that up. That's his thing. But let's talk about how mental health affects your stream.
Well, yes, I suffer from anxiety and depression, like clinical levels since I've been since I was young, and I try to be open about it with my viewers because I think it's an important topic to be open about. And whenever I'm struggling or someone else is struggling, we try to be there for everyone and just be supportive and like a loving, welcoming community for anyone who may be struggling. And I know that a lot of people are struggling and are afraid to talk about it or whatever. And I just try and create an environment that everyone can be comfortable in as much as possible and talk about things. And I've met a lot of people with different like mental health struggles like autism or schizophrenia or also anxiety and depression. And like it's just cool that we're all kind of there for each other. And I don't know, it's like we understand what each other, what we've all been through, and we're like a support network.
That's incredible. So
Yeah.
if you were to talk about like, so we've talked a little bit about mental health. We've talked about sort of kiddie time.
Hmm.
Is that, would those things, what, like if you were to like, what do you say, what would you say your niche is?
Definitely. Well, I think cats or animals in general can be like great therapy for mental health, and I know they've helped me immensely. Just like having them near, something to cuddle, to that that loves you. Uh, there's just this. I can't describe how much I love these cats, and I like sharing that with everyone, so that like if you don't have an animal of your own, you can at least like see and kind of vicariously love mine. And yeah, like it just, I don't know, the kitty time niche. I guess that's part of it. People like come to see my cats every night. But other than that, like I just try to be like a down to earth, empathetic person, that people can feel they can come to just hang out and chill. And um I don't know, like my niche, I thought about that for the last couple weeks, and it's hard to pinpoint for me. I was even asking my viewers that, and they're like, you're just a nice person and we love your cats."
I mean, it sounds like, just this idea of just having like a safe haven to just relax
Hmm.
is a, it's just such a nice thing, you know?
Yeah, I definitely promote chill. The chill. I often put that in my title, like "Come chill with me" or "Chilling while doing this or that," while shooting cultists in the face, which is what I've been doing lately in Far Cry 5.
Yeah, I've seen you've been playing a ton of Far Cry 5 lately, which is
Yeah,
awesome. Are
yeah,
you,
it's fun.
so what it like, okay, so let's talk about, what did you start streaming with? What type of games did you start streaming with?
Mostly adventure games, like put some point and click stuff. I think the first game I played was on stream was Rhyme, if you've heard of that, where it's like an exploration game. It's very peaceful. Like there's not much to threaten you. Although there is one part that was kind of scary in it, but like just adventure, chill, exploration games, stuff like that. I played also stuff like Grim Fandango and the Monkey Island series, that kind of adventure game. And then I've played indie stuff like To the Moon, um, or I don't know if Life is Strange is considered indie or not still.
Yeah, maybe not
um,
now, but I think at least when it did come out, it was because
yeah.
it was in that story, like Telltale game type of style.
Hmm.
It might
So
have
I
been what
like,
pioneered that. I'm not sure, but
yeah, no, I like stuff with story, and I'm I'm not great at stuff where I have to die a lot. So like if I can turn it down to easy and enjoy the game that way, like that's my preferred way usually. Like with Far Cry, I just get frustrated if I die a lot. So anything that's like chill, like Stardew. I haven't actually played Stardew on stream, but that was one
oh,
of my
that's a
favorite
fun game.
games. Yeah, and I like play a variety of stuff. Like Assassin's Creed Odyssey was probably my favorite for last year. Uh, I played like 150 hours of that. That
Oh
was super
wow.
fun because I loved the main character, Cassandra. Like they did a really good job, and there was just so much to explore. And Far Cry is a lot of that too, but I don't usually play shooter games other than like I used to play a lot of Overwatch,
Oh, okay.
and I did stream a bit of that, but I think it's too fast paced for most of my viewers.
Okay.
So I think they prefer, like in Far Cry, even though there's shooting, there's a lot of like walking through the woods and fishing, and so there's like moments of calm that we can talk around, and I think they enjoy that.
I've been digging that. Yeah, every so what you're talking about reminds me a lot of like Red Dead. Like someday when you get to the point where like Red Dead's not so, because I stream Red Dead just because I'm playing Red Dead, but
Hmm.
there's zero growth to it. But if it ever becomes to that point where it's like not the thing that every single person is playing, I highly recommend trying some Red Dead. It is very relaxing.
Hmm. Yeah, no, it looks awesome. I was thinking about it, although I'm mostly a PC gamer. I do have a PS4,
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
but I got God of War actually recently because I saw that it won so many awards, and I was like, I've never played a God of War game before, but I have a PlayStation 4 and it's exclusive, so I really wanted to try it. And even even though I have it on easy mode, it's like such a great game. Like I would totally recommend that if you haven't tried it.
Yeah, I was unfortunate enough that I bought an Xbox One and and I
Oh.
and I bought one specifically for Crackdown 3 and it might pay off next month. We'll see.
Oh.
But I have all my games on there now, so I'm like, I can't really sell this thing and buy a PS4
Yeah.
yet. So I'm saving up someday for a PS4, but because they've got all the good stuff. Like Spider-Man is on there, and I'm like, oh man, I
Mhm.
really want to play Spider-Man. I want to play God of War. I actually want to play
Yeah.
through the whole series because I started it a long time ago when I was young, and then I quit because I got frustrated and never came back to it. So I always
Yeah.
wanted to.
Well, yeah, you should totally get a PS4 someday
It's
because
yeah.
there's some good stuff on there. I don't have an Xbox and I don't really know what is on Xbox, so
Uh, I mean, yeah, it's useful for Game Pass, and that's what I'm gonna say about Xbox. they're
but
they're exclusives. Yes, they are low, but they also you can pay like $10 a month and get like a huge library of games. So I'm like, that's not
well,
so
that's
bad.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not so bad. But I think PlayStation's kind of doing the same thing now, where their subscription service they're switching to where like you can still stream games, but they're also making it where you can download them as well.
Mhm.
So
I don't have
again,
yeah, I
double-edged
don't have
sword.
PlayStation Plus, but I used to have I think I did a trial for PlayStation Network or something, and I was able to download or play Nino Kuni, the first one.
Yeah,
Um, and I was able to play Nino Kuni 2 on PC afterwards. So it was cool that I was able to get that.
I think that's their streaming service because so they have PlayStation Plus and you get free games with that, and that's okay.
Mhm.
I still have a backlog category on a PS3 that I don't own anymore of PlayStation downloadable games, but yeah, PlayStation like their streaming service is it's got a bit of an edge, but also it's not as fleshed out um as Xbox like the Game Pass because you could just straight up just download any of it. But again,
Hmm.
quality of game versus you know amount of content. PlayStation just has like they just have really good exclusives. Even
Yeah.
even back to PS3, like they were all pretty fantastic.
Well, I loved the Uncharted series. Like I got the PlayStation 4 and that was my first PlayStation that I personally owned. Like I didn't have a PlayStation 1 or 2 or 3, any of those. I was mostly PC and I had an Xbox 360, but I really didn't use it that much. So when I got the PlayStation 4, I played all of the Uncharteds in a row. And I loved them. And I also played The Last of Us with my husband.
Oh, that
Um,
game.
yeah, no, I had to watch him play parts of it. Like I couldn't play it all myself because there's some scary parts in that game.
Yeah, that
But
game can freak you out, but it also depressed
yeah,
the hell out of you. Like it's the saddest. That is the saddest
yeah,
thing I've ever played.
it was really like intense story wise, and yeah. But
So,
like I love all those games. Like what else did I get? Um, besides God of War. Oh, Horizon. Uh,
oh, I've heard amazing things about that.
yeah, yeah, that was a great game.
It held up against Zelda really well. Like Zelda was a huge hit last year, and it or the 2 years ago now, but it held up super well.
Yeah, no, I
Like
have a Wii U as well, and we were able to play Breath of the Wild on that, and I was so happy that we could play it on that and not have to buy a Switch to play it.
I
Because
was
we won't be buying a Switch for probably a while.
I was fortunate enough. I had amassed a collection of like stuff for Nintendo. Like I had gotten a Wii and I think I had a GameCube and I had a few other things built up. And then when they announced the Switch, I was like, I'm selling all of this. And I pre-ordered the Switch like immediately. And
Oh yeah?
I had a game store in town. Like the second I saw the direct on the Switch, I was like, that I want it. And I got it. However, I was stupid. I traded this PS4 that's non-existent now.
Yeah.
I traded my PS3. No, I traded my copy of Zelda for a PS3, and then I sold the PS3, and I still don't have Zelda anymore. And I'm like,
Oh no.
yeah, I beat it, but I still, I mean, it's still one of my games that I'd love to just go back to. I mean, at this point,
Yeah, no, it's definitely like it's an amazing game. I would go back to it as well.
yeah, it's a ton of fun. It's yeah, and I've even thought like if I end up getting another copy of it, I would probably like restart just from the top because it's just
Would you
it's so
stream
good.
it?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Awesome.
I don't I don't like to not stream the games that I'm playing, but you know.
Yeah, well, I've never streamed anything except for on PC. So like I've never tried streaming from the Wii U or PlayStation. So like that whole thing kind of intimidates me a little bit.
It's a bit different, but I'll tell you what, it's so much easier on your PC. Like,
Really? Oh.
yeah, my because so I used to have to actually stream consoles at one point because I had a PC that was just this like I mean it was a junker. It was hobbled together and barely pushing. And so I would stream the I would s- I got a capture card and I would stream from that and it works a lot better. And I do it even now and like my CPU will run about like 7% if I'm streaming
Hmm.
off of my console.
Hmm.
If I'm doing my like if I'm gaming, it'll be 30 to 40 probably.
Wow.
So it's interesting to kind of see the difference, but I don't know. I kind of prefer it is a little bit of a different animal like the PS3 you have to have at a very like specific frame rate and you have to have it at a specific like resolution before it'll play for you
Oh,
properly.
really?
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's kind of a pain, but it'll the PS3 was the one that I really had to work around with. Everything else works great. Like my Xbox does great, the Switch does great. I actually have a Super Nintendo Classic, which I
Oh, cool.
I almost thought about selling it because I grew up on Super Nintendo. I
Yeah,
almost
no,
thought
me
about
too.
yeah, I almost thought about selling this thing, but then because they're talking about the SNES games are coming to the Switch soon, um,
Hmm.
I almost did, and then I realized like the SNES is like a subscription. It'll be a subscription on the Switch,
Oh,
so you'll have to pay like $20 for an entire year. But that's non-tangible. Like one day that'll go away, whereas this thing will be
yeah,
around forever. So I'm like, I want to keep this for my kids someday.
yeah. I loved what Donkey Kong Country.
Oh yeah, Donkey Kong Country is a good one.
Yep, yep. I think like that was when I was like really getting into gaming was around then, and I didn't play as much Mario as most gamers would. Um because it was I found Mario hard. So when I was playing Donkey Kong, it was still pretty hard, but I somehow had the persistence to get through, and I still like have the minecart level like memorized, like when to jump,
It
because I played it so much.
it's such an amazing style to think about like this. Like gaming now is like go to these places at this time, this thing will happen. But like back in the day, like Super Nintendo, it was straight reflex, and you would play over the same
Hmm.
thing over and over and over and over again until you had that reflex down.
Yep,
Um,
it
I think it.
was it was awesome.
I think it was like my one of my favorite YouTubers, Bob Wolf, was bringing up the point of like if you emulate like Mega Man, um,
Hmm.
there's no delay like there would be if there's too many enemies on screen. There's no delay if you were to
Oh
emulate
yeah,
it. However, if you were to play it on the Game Boy or on or on the Nintendo or whatever, because of the hardware, it slows down a little bit. So
right.
there's actually like a difference in reflex play between
Oh
emulating
my
it on
gosh.
ROM versus just playing it on the actual console. So he's like, it actually affects your gameplay because a lot of these people still have
Yeah.
these reflexes from 20 years
So you have
ago.
to relearn how like when to press the button.
Yeah, and he's like, that's why a lot of people don't prefer not to emulate like specific games like that because their reflexes change.
Hmm.
And
Makes
yeah,
sense.
I don't know. So let's talk about you. You said you grew up on Super Nintendo. Was that your first console?
I did have a regular Nintendo, and I after the Super Nintendo, I had an N64, and I had a Game Boy that I played like Pokemon, and I think was it Nintendo or the Mario Six Golden Stars or something like that. I forget. But I would
Oh, I think I
play
remember
that
something about
shit
that.
like all the time when we went on like road trips and stuff because my parents would like take us camping and stuff like that, and I would bring it along because like I was addicted.
So important question then. Life's hardest choice: fire, water, or grass? What type of Pokemon? What was your first choice?
I went with fire because he's so adorable. His little
That
fire tail.
Charmander? Yeah,
Yes.
Charmander. Yep. Okay. I'll be honest, I went with water, but I was thinking practically. I was like, next, first guy you gotta fight's rock. You just whip him with the water.
Yeah. I feel like there's no real wrong answer there
No, there's
because
not.
like they're all useful at like, you're gonna want to catch them all anyway. So
I get you. Yeah, that was I wanted all of them right off the bat, and they're like, yeah, they don't unless you're playing yellow, you don't really get the option.
did
Uh
you
s-
get the new Switch game, Pokemon game?
no, I didn't. Oh, here we go. Dank, thank you so much for the host. How's everybody doing? Welcome. I'm gonna call you Dank Nation. I think Dank says that. Dank Nation, right?
Welcome, Dank Peoples.
Dank Peoples. Thank you guys. So for those of you who don't know, we're interviewing Ailura right now. The amazing Ailura. Most of you probably know her from Dank's streams.
Yep,
Um, but
we're well
Dank,
acquainted.
how you doing, Dank? How you doing today? Okay, so let's see here. We talked about cats, gaming. Is there anything you're excited to game with?
Well, the reason I picked up Far Cry 5 actually was because I was excited when I saw Far Cry New Dawn, where it takes place in the same region as in Far Cry 5, but it's 17 years later after a nuclear event. And I love that post-apocalyptic and things are overgrown type uh, deal, and it looked really neat. So then I was like, well, I got to play Far Cry 5 to know like how it got to that point and to see it before all these changes. So that's like the main game I'm looking forward to right now. Um, Other than that, though, like everything seems like super far off, like Beyond Good and Evil 2. Like I loved the first game, and we didn't even know that Beyond Good and Evil 2 if it would ever happen. So I don't know when that's even expected to release. Have you
Thanks.
played the first one?
I don't think I have. Explain this to me. Also, Dank, what's your question? Um, what? So Beyond Good and Evil. Explain to me the premise of Beyond Good and Evil. So I can kind of get my head wrapped around that.
Well, it's like in a futuristic world, and in the first one, you're like a photographer and you unearth like this conspiracy, and I don't want to spoil it, but it's like there's stealth elements to it. There's vehicle like boat battles. I mean, it's like a really cool adventure action game. Like I can't. It's hard to compare it with anything really. But the new one, it just looks like. I mean, the graphics obviously Beyond Good and Evil came out like early 2000s, I think.
This
So
was
it's
like an
been,
X. This was an Xbox original game, wasn't it?
yes, I think so.
Okay, I remember the trailer now for the Beyond Good and Evil 2 because it looks crazy. It looks awesome.
Yeah. It looks like the character from the first game is going to be in the second game, but is not the protagonist. So
It
it's like there's some kind of connection, but we don't know what's happened.
kind of like Borderlands 2. Hey, Honeykins, how's it going? Welcome to the
Yeah.
podcast.
Oh, I love
Um,
Borderlands as well.
that's one of my. So this is what I like to. Okay, so maybe I'll throw this question out there. I like to ask people. You don't have to. Actually, you don't have to. So we've actually had a discussion of what some of your favorite games are, but Borderlands 2 is like on my. I like to ask people when they drop into my stream, like, what are their top 5 favorite games?
Hmm.
Borderlands 2 is on my top 5 just because of what they've done, what they did where they took the first, like they took all the characters from the first game and made them characters in the second game as like side characters, like very intricate
Yeah.
story characters. And I hope if they do Borderlands 3, that's what they do again with the Borderlands 2 characters. They make them
Yeah, I would
actual
love for them to
characters.
keep yeah, I would love for them to keep them around because you grow attached to them. They're cool characters.
Yeah, because that was the most disappointing thing about the pre-sequel is they like didn't really do that all that
Hmm.
well. And I was
And
like, I
it
think that
was
was the magic of the second.
and they added in like oxygen and jetpacks, and it was like, wow, this is different.
Well, the thing that frustrated me most about the game was they covered the fate, like they made all of the bad guys look the same by putting them in spacesuits.
Hmm.
And I think part of like what makes Borderlands 1 and 2 so great is that all the bad guys have a little bit of a different look and it's so colorful and so crazy, and I don't think they're able to emulate that in space very well.
Yeah,
So
well, I'm looking forward to the third installment whenever that happens.
it should. I think the rumor mill be saying that it should be this year or at least soon. So I
Ooh,
hope. I hope. I could use
yeah.
some more Borderlands. I could use some more Borderlands, some more BioShock. That's all I. Um,
I
yeah.
would like some Elder Scrolls, some new Elder Scrolls 6.
Oh, I
Because
don't know. So
Skyrim was a big game for me. I
did
streamed it.
did you play Fallout at all?
Yes, I did. I played a lot of Fallout, but not on stream. I tried playing it on stream, and someone raided me with like 90 people on my first night streaming it.
Oh.
And I had to fight the Death Claw in the first town
Oh
with
yeah.
the minigun, and like I ran out of bullets and I was like struggling. And I was like, I had like a mini panic attack, and then I haven't streamed it since.
So an interesting thing about what was it? So the interesting, like, they talked about for Elder Scrolls, so they're working on Starlink right now, I think is what it's called, or no, not Starlink, Starbound maybe. They're working on their next like space Odyssey adventure, which is supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
like Skyrim or Fallout, but in space. They're working on that.
Mm-hmm.
That will release, and then after that, they're gonna be working on, like, they're still kind of a little bit working on the next Elder Scrolls, but not, they're not gonna be full gear into that until after they've kind of completed and released their space game. So
Yeah.
yeah, the one guy said like he goes, it'll most likely be on the next generation or maybe even after that, and I was like, shut your mouth, like, no.
That's a long time to wait.
Yeah, that's, well, it may or may not be with the speed that consoles come out anymore. I mean,
True.
we could be blinking and it'll be out, but it's a terrifying thought. Um, to wonder. Because they gave us the graphic, like the next Elder Scrolls graphic, and that was
Yeah.
it. And I'm like, I need more, please.
Well, but at least they gave us even that, whereas, with Diablo, they didn't give us anything for Diablo 4. People were
Yeah.
disappointed about that.
Well, they put out a mobile game, I think, and that was a huge
Yes, yeah.
fiasco. It was very
Yep.
unfortunate. It was very
I would
unfortunate.
love a new Diablo game as well. Like I'm a big Blizzard fan. I played WoW for like I don't know, over a decade.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I played a lot of that.
No pun there, just
Um,
oh wow.
yes, exactly. And of course, love Overwatch, and not so much into StarCraft or Hearthstone or Heroes of the Storm, though. But I
Okay.
do like Diablo. I like stuff that I can play with my husband, and um, like Diablo and Overwatch are pretty good, solid multiplayer experiences or co-op experiences.
Can you co-op in Overwatch? I didn't know that.
Well, you can join a team together, and
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so well, what kind of stuff do you like to play with your husband? Like, I know you're just talking about some co-op stuff, but like, are you guys playing anything together right now?
The last thing we played together was Terraria, but my husband's like way more creative than me on like the building side. So like he'll have like an idea for this massive mansion, and with staircases and lighting, and I'll be like, well, I guess I'll just go mine some stuff.
Well, hey,
So
there,
like, yeah.
you got the visionary and you're the practical one. You do the work. You're like, okay, this is the amount of work we're gonna have to do.
Yeah.
I
Um,
yeah.
but Overwatch is another one we play like regularly together. And let's see. We also we also share Steam libraries. So I sometimes like try out games that he has on his account when he's not playing. Like last night, I tried out Slime Rancher, and I might end up streaming it because it looks really cute and relaxing.
I think someone just gave, like, someone put that in their top. Someone popped into my stream today, and that was in their top 5 with Slime Rancher.
Yeah,
That's
it
awesome.
seems like a cool game. What else have we played together? Minecraft we played Minecraft for a little while. Again, he's the creative one. I'm just like the laborer.
Okay.
But yeah, and he's been playing Space Engineers, and I just kind of watch him create like massive ships, and it's like, wow, he's got the dedication and the vision. And I don't have that, but I like just I like exploring in games, and just I don't know, it like leveling up or getting, increasingly better as you go. That's most games.
Okay, I get you. So, okay, so I guess we're kind of winding down. We got about 10 or so minutes left.
Okay.
I like to ask people what if you were to have advice for other streamers, people who want to get into it, or maybe even people who are streaming, and maybe they're just looking for a little advice. What kind of advice would you hand out to people? Like, what would you tell them from your experiences?
Well, I'd say don't give into the pressure and play games that are popular just because they're popular. Like play what you want to play. Play what you actually enjoy, because the more you enjoy playing a game, the more your viewers will enjoy watching you. So, and also like for me, it's really easy for me to just be myself. Like some people have a persona or something, but my advice is to just be yourself and be a nice, good person, and you'll attract more of the same to your stream. The other thing is you shouldn't worry too much about like the numbers in the beginning, because it's a big market out there. There's a lot of streamers. You just have to be patient, and people will show up. Just keep doing what you're doing. Treat it like a hobby, uh, less than a job, because it's not like rewarding immediately, but it's definitely over time. Once you build up your community, it's immensely rewarding because you have these people who are always there for you, and like they're just great people.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah. So that's my advice, is just be yourself, play what you love, and don't try not to stress too much about, don't compare yourself to other streamers, for example, because that will just make your ego take a dive, like don't do that.
I get you. What some people have been telling me lately is to turn off that the number count, your count number
Right,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
I literally have no idea how to do that. I've been trying to figure out how for a little while, but that's been some of the advice that I've had.
Oh,
So,
yeah, I don't really look at it like most of the time. I talk to my people like I know my regulars are there. I greet people as they come in. I try not to think too much about how many people are watching me right now,
I think
because
like
then I could get anxious.
yeah, I have that problem where I'll look in the corner and I'll see like 1 minute it'll be you have one person watching you, and then you have six, and then you'll drop to three, and then you're like, and these are just my number examples today.
Mhm.
Don't and so I look up there and I'm like, oh man, like I wonder what I did to make three people run away, and then I'm like, now I'm in my head too much. I need to be playing the game
Yeah,
and
that's no
and
good.
having fun. Yeah, it's just you get in your head. So like if you get a raid, you pump up the volume, you have fun. But if you're no other way to know how many people are watching you other than who are all saying hi. That's a better idea. I feel like it's
Yeah.
just more
Well, I like to
relaxing.
look at the stream summary, like, like an hour after my stream is done. I let it like update and stuff. And I look at that and I try and look for, green arrows saying that, I have growth. I have a couple
Yeah.
more viewers today than I had yesterday, overall average. Like I look at that stuff, and that's helpful. But I don't necessarily look minute to minute how many people are there, because it's too much to think about. And you gotta focus on your game and the people in chat, and yeah.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about how people can find you real quick. It's twitch.tv/Ailura, right?
Yep.
Ailura.
Yep.
Um,
And on Twitter, it's at Ailura_GG.
Okay.
G as in girl.
Oh, I was thinking GG is in good game.
Yeah, or good game, or girl gamer, or whatever.
There you go. There you go. Do you do it like? Do you have like a Facebook or like an Instagram or anything that you want
Nope.
to
I'm
promote? That's
I'm not I'm not really great about the social media. I mostly stick to Discord, so I have a Discord channel that you can find uh, listed under my on my channel.
yeah.
But yeah, like I mostly stick to Discord. I tweet when I go live, but I'm not like a daily tweeter. Like I'm not very like hip to that whole thing. Um,
I've
no
tried.
Instagram, no Snapchat, nothing like that.
Okay.
Just Discord and Twitch and Twitter.
So I totally forgot to address the Dank question. Dank had a question for you. He says, "Is Canada planning to invade the United States? If so, will you be bringing national legal weed with you?"
Yes. Yes. We are totally going to take over and spread the legal weed everywhere we can.
Spread the legal weed like just just merriment.
Yes, spread the love and peace and weed.
There you go. I like it. Robert Lee, he just says, you're a great streamer and you're very kind. So I just thought
Oh,
I would
thanks, Robert.
throw that back out there. But yeah. So guys, I figure we'll probably wrap up about here. Unless you guys, I'm gonna do a social media spiel. If you guys have any questions, drop them real quick. By the end of that social media spiel, if you have any more questions, I can. Miss Weed Claus, that's interesting. Christopher Goodrich. So just a little spiel, guys. You can find us here at twitch.tv/ Just Another Nerdy Podcast. Every week we are doing a live interview with highlighting a Twitch streamer. Today, of course, we're doing Ailura. So every Monday we try and do one random. Soka G, drop your question. You could do a random. We do a random streamer, typically nominated by other streamers and stuff right now as well. We got to get to know what their niche is and stuff. And then on Wednesdays at noon, we do a live podcast. Yes, she is. She is still married, Sokaji. So we do a live podcast noon. We talk about the nerdy news. We do movie reviews, TV reviews, video game reviews, and stuff like that. This week I'm going to be talking about Future Man. So Future Man Season 2 has dropped on Hulu. I love that show. So you can check us out there. You can watch me stream. I try and do every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday morning around 9 a.m. And I do a couple other later streams. So if you want to pop in and check those out, you can follow us here. You can follow me at Diehm. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Diehm. You can also find us on Twitter for the podcast, JA Nerdy Podcast, and you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ Just Another Nerdy Podcast. You can hit subscribe and follow. Facebook, we put all of our nerdy news up there that we're going to talk about for the week. So follow us and hit us there. We're also doing clips, so we'll have all the clips of Ailura this week, and then next week we'll do all the clips of our next streamer, and then, so on and so forth. We're also doing podcast clips, so you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook for those as well. So you can check us out, find our announcements and stuff. If you want to watch this, you don't have enough time to watch us every week, you can follow us on YouTube. You can go to youtube.com. We're Just Another Nerdy Podcast. Google it. You'll find this mug holding 2 surge cans. All of our video content goes up there. But just say you don't have enough time to sit down and watch us. Well, hey, guys, I got a nice solution. You can download us and put a little nerdy in your pocket. You can find us on Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and CastBox. Again, Just Another Nerdy Podcast. If you're here live, we have buttons for everything down below. Go down and click on those buttons, hit follow, hit subscribe, help us out, help out the other streamers. If you haven't gone over to Ailura's page, go over there right now, hit follow, twitch.tv/Ailura. Go and follow her. She's a fantastic streamer, super chill. Soka G, you were just talking about depression a little bit. Soka G, go over there, follow Ailura. She's got a chill stream just for you, bud. So you can follow all these streamers and stuff. You can check us out. Go to YouTube, just support, guys. Do our best to support. And then guys, you can catch us next week. I haven't gotten a streamer lined up for next week yet, but I will here very soon. I'll have it announced. So guys, thank you so much. Oh yeah, Christopher Goodrich, he's telling us don't forget about the JANP Discord. There's a Discord button down below. You can click on that. It'll take us straight to our Discord. We just had someone join the Discord, so go in there, make some noise, guys. Find our categories, let people know. Honeykins, thank you so much for the follow. And
Hey, Honeykins.
yeah, Honeykins, thank you so much. Ailura, is there anything that you kind of want to part with at this time?
The only thing I can think of is everyone stay chill and be excellent to each other, and yeah.
Yeah, I think I guess the best thing my friend has ever said is be good. Whenever he says goodbye to someone, he says be good. He doesn't say goodbye.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
yeah. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll be streaming some tomorrow morning. I'm probably gonna play some Don't Starve. I may or may not get the bravery to try that Resident Evil one-shot demo again, but as you might see from some of my clips, I screamed as high pitch as possible playing it last time, so I don't know if I could do it again.
I know I couldn't. That's too
it,
scary.
It is, oh man, like it is not your old PS2 classics or PS1 classics. It is, woo, it is creepy. It is terrifying. So, Honeykins, yeah, I love Mario too. If you guys are, any of you streamers are looking for like some free content like that Mario hop in, the blue shell intro that we have, the outro we have, you can actually check out. There's a guy, his name is Harris Heller. He's got the Alpha Gaming channel on YouTube. I highly recommend him for any streamers. He has a bunch of free content for streamers to check out. So if you like that Mario, you can get it for free. Like he hands it out for free. He does the same thing. There's like a sub thing where Charizard pops out and breathes fire. It's super dope. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and we're gonna see you next time. Bye.